Rockets bounce back with the big win over Kent State. We welcome in Pete Seymour from the Toledo Rocket Radio Network. Pete, thank you so much for joining us.
Mark, thanks for having me.
10-0 lead for Kent State. Was there a feeling on the sideline that, here we go again?
Absolutely. 100%. I was down there. The air was kind of sucked out of the stadium after that first touchdown, but my gosh, Mark, give Kent a whole bunch of credit. Coming off a rivalry loss, the first play of the game, you dial something up right down the middle for 75 yards. Fantastic play call for the first one of the game, and yeah, give them credit, but as we know, Rockets responded in a big way.
45 straight points for Toledo after giving up those first 10 to the Golden Flashes. Tucker Gleason, 4 touchdown passes as he wins the MAC Co-Offensive Player of the Week. Second time Gleason has done that this season.
Yeah, and Tucker's looked really sharp, made some really good throws, and you mentioned the 4 touchdown passes. That's a career high for him in a game, and there were 5 on the day, and my point to that is, Mark, 5 different receivers caught touchdown passes. Javon Brown got back in the end zone. Great to see Trayvon Rudolph get his first touchdown in a midnight blue and gold uniform. They've been so close so many times, and yeah, Tucker was sharp. He looked really good. The run game was there, and without one of their big backs.
That was my next point. We saw the depth of the receivers. We had to see the depth at the running back position. Chip Tranum missed the game. He's day-to-day. Maybe he'll be able to go this week for Wazoo. But in his absence, Kenji Christian came in big.
Kenji Christian looked great. And Mark, the big thing I notice about Kenji is, yes, he's great laterally. His feet are fantastic. But when he needs to get down the field and put his head down and lower those shoulder pads, he can. And he even told me earlier in the year, he said, that's something, the side-to-side movement was not always one of my strengths. And we view it now as, man, this kid's feet is quick. This kid can get sideline to sideline. He said, at previous stops, I was always a downhill runner. That game for me grew on my feet a little bit, and he has obviously loved the results. But yeah, it's good to see the running back room depth as well. Connor Waldensack carrying a big load as a third down back as well.
Yeah, Perrysburg grad finding his playing time as well. You mentioned Kenji Christian going side to side. Well, this Rocket team now going side to side, going from the Midwest all the way out to the West Coast to take on Washington State, a 3-4 Cougars team that really has been a very up and down season for Wazoo.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, a ton of turnover on this team. I want to say some upwards of like 70 new guys on the roster. They needed to find their footing at the beginning of the year, like a lot of teams do. But in the last few weeks, took Ole Miss down to the wire, gave them a battle. Last week, had a lead against Virginia, ended up losing that game. It's a tough game, and I think it's going to be pretty cool for Brian Blair to get back there as well.
Yeah, former Washington State administrator, of course now UT's athletic director, and the Wazoo Cougars 2 years ago, they were Pac-12, they were Power 4. Now they're kind of in this nebulous area where they're not quite Group of 5, they're not quite Power 4, but still a worthy opponent, and a little bit of an oddity to be playing a non-conference game for UT in the late October.
Very much so, and we talked about on the coaches show earlier this week exactly that, but kind of nice to break up the schedule, and then you have those 10 days before you have to travel to Northern Illinois. So yeah, should be a really fun trip, business trip, quick turnaround, 12:30 start up there, 3:30 start our time. But Mark, I'm looking forward to it, and again, Coach Candle on the coaches show earlier this week, he said, hey, it's going to be our details against their details, and how are we going to handle this trip? And I'm excited to see how they do, because we know from past experiences, Rockets show up big time to these games.
One of those details of this Washington State offense, they love to run the ball.
That's absolutely right. And much like week number 1, Mark, against Kentucky, this defensive line is going to be tested. And this defensive line has been really good, especially over the past few weeks. The one game I really go back to was against Western Kentucky, when they just dominated Western Kentucky's line up front, which completely stymied their passing attack. So yeah, the defensive line will be tested. The offense, we'll see if Chip's ready to go. If not, like we said, Kenji will be ready. He's got a cast of characters behind him. And yeah, it should be a fun one. None really have been out that way. So should be some great views, some good food, and a business trip for the Rockets, and hopefully bring back that W.
You haven't been out that way. The Rockets haven't been out that way in a while. Just the second ever trip to the state of Washington. The first time was in the early 90s when they went out and played Washington. Of course, the Washington Huskies at that point, led by former Kent State head coach Don James. All comes back to the MAC. Pete Seymour, thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Mark. Go Rockets.